All right, you ready? I don't know what to say.
We've done it 100 times.
Okay.
I mean, it's the same as usual.
Welcome to the Hoot and Holla podcast. I'm Candace, or you can catch me on all social media platforms at Dabs of Candy, and she is.
I caught that with my head. Did you see?
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm Whitney. You can catch me at everything with Sparkle Shine.
We have another great episode today. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast app, you can also watch this episode on YouTube at Hoot and Holla TV. Also follow us on all social media platforms at Hoot and Holla TV. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Today we're going to talk a little later on. We're going to talk about Life Uno. I'll explain that a little later on.
She got creative.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
So today's episode is sponsored by Gray Hair because they've been popping over here on me. They're right up front.
One on this side.
I mean, it's up front, and I got like one in the back. I think I see a sliver of one in my eyebrows. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna act like it's not there. I'm gonna comb it over with the rest of them. But let me tell you about some gray hair. It's disrespectful, is what it is.
Is it?
It's disrespectful because it's like this wave, like, hey. I'm different. I'm new here. It's like, girl, everybody see you. Sit down. Everybody see you. But I embrace it, but at the same time, it ain't like the rest of the hairs. It's got a different texture. I don't know if it works like that for white women or white people in general.
I don't.
But for black people, it's a different texture.
I don't have any, but I have heard that. Like,
you can gel it, you can brush it, you can comb it. It ain't laying down.
I've heard that.
It's not.
White women, it's hard to dye it. Like if they're gonna dye their hair,
like it'll like if you were to dye it black, it's not gonna be black. It's gonna be probably a shade of brown.
Yeah, like it just doesn't.
Yeah, it just does not do
same.
what the rest of the hairs do. And I'm like, it's supposed to be wisdom, but it's showing its tail right now.
Mm-hmm. I think it looks good on you though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm embracing it. I'm not gonna dye none of them. I don't care.
You're like,
I really kind of hope it's like super like creative looking, and I have just this big patch right
that's
here.
What I was gonna say. It looked cool
like
if you had like a line.
If I could choose the way that I want it to come in, I just want a patch right here.
Like give it a little bit of flair.
Yeah, just make it look like I dyed it or something.
I hope it works out for you like that because I mean that's what it looks like it's gonna do.
Yeah,
it'd be cool.
I mean it's all around the edges. I guess that's where I carry my stress
in my forehead. That's funny.
So if you got gray hairs, embrace them, girl. Embrace them. Why we covering this up? Come on. I love it. Gray hair on a man. Oh my God, that's just like the gray in the beard. Oh my God.
Yeah, and it sucks though because we think it's hot, and they see us with gray hair, and they're like, "I'm gonna date this 24-year-old," and it's like double standards.
They'll be back. They'll be back. Trust me, they over there. That's vacation. Okay, what do you do when you go back from vacation? You go back to work. You go back to regular things. That's
playtime.
That's playtime. You go back over here to the real world where we accept things of that nature.
My God. Oh my God.
So you want? I'm done talking about my gray hair.
Let me tell you.
But let's deep dive into how you accidentally joined a cult. What? Who accidentally does that?
I just realized the other day. All right, so I'm a documentary person. I'm always trying to find new documentaries. Said that weird documentaries. And I came across this one on Prime, and I think it's been on there for a while. But it's called The Way Down, W-A-Y down. And so it's about this woman who she grew up in the same church that I did, in the Church of Christ. And she started a diet called the Way Down Diet. And basically all it is portion control. Hey, when you're not hungry, don't eat. When you are hungry, pay attention to your body. And when you get full, stop eating. And everybody's like, oh my God, what? And
the code has been unlocked.
It should be like, and in between, you need to be praying and fasting in between and blah, blah, blah. And okay, so as I watched this documentary, I realized that this woman has literally built an entire church in Brentwood, Tennessee around this diet.
How you to church around the diet.
God only likes skinny people.
Apparently.
And you're only getting to heaven. Your holiness is shown
I'm going
by
to say
how
I'm
thin you are.
90% certain that Moses was not skinny.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty positive with that one. Go ahead.
Why Moses?
I don't know.
Anyway.
You got to have some girth to part the Red Sea. That's all I'm saying.
Just got to have something to plant.
You can't stick that stick in the ground, man, a buck 110. you got to be two something. You know what I'm saying? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so all right, so she basically, I mean, did what old cult leaders did, pretend it's a church, but really it's about now I've convinced all these people they need to lose weight, and
my master plan.
Yeah, and now every time I come out with a new book or workbook, they have to buy it, and they think that they can only go to heaven through me and what I think, and they're all buying into it.
Oh, great.
So, needless to say, this was mostly white people.
I had no doubts. I didn't even have.
There was like 5 black people in the whole church.
That never even came across my mind.
Anyway, it's a massive crap show, and it is insane. But anyway, so I didn't know all of this. I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fat kid. Hi, in case y'all haven't noticed.
Hi guys.
I've been on a diet. I mean, I haven't in the past 2 years, but since I was like 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on diets, and that's why I'm not anymore, because I'm like, I am me. It's clearly not working out for me. I'm going to live my best life.
There you go.
So anyway, so I grew up in the Church of Christ, and this diet came out, and everybody accepted it, and it's a godly diet. So
not to cut you off, but so you were familiar with this diet.
Yeah. I was
and
on
it just
this
came
diet.
Full circle.
Yes.
When you watch this, like, oh,
it was a cult.
Wait a minute.
It was a cult.
Wow.
I was going to meetings twice a week, Tuesday night and Thursday night, with my mom, this big group of women sitting around in a circle talking about doing the workbook, doing the diet plan and all this stuff. And then I watched this documentary and I'm like, this
yeah, I can see how that would bother.
I was a part of this. I had no idea.
Because it's like you're watching this like, oh, these people are crazy.
And then you're like, that's exactly what
I'm people.
That's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. I'm like, this is insane. Why does this sound familiar? And then I'm like, it was me.
Dum.
Now, all right, in my defense, I was a kid.
Yeah,
who was drug along. I was just doing what I was, told or
Did
whatever.
You tell like any of your friends, like, we're having meetings twice a week.
Y'all should come.
Did you?
No, I don't think I ever did.
All right. So you at least wasn't a recruiter.
Yeah, I wasn't recruiting. I was just drug along.
Because if you was a recruiter, I'm just like,
we'd have a different conversation.
This changes things a bit.
But yeah, I laughed I was a little appalled, and then I laughed so hard because I was like, I can't wait to tell Candace I was in a cult on accident.
You think you know somebody.
I know, right? It's so funny how you watch stuff and then things just click in your head, like things you don't remember, and you haven't remembered.
And the craziest part is like, this was normalcy to you.
Yeah.
Bless
Look,
your heart.
I've told
you made it out alive.
I've told y'all stories about my mama.
I'll get you a sticker.
I've told y'all stories about my mama. And now, you know my mama.
Yeah,
Does it shock you at all that she accidentally joined a cult?
No.
No, not at all.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry.
Not at all.
I apologize.
No.
But, they say the truth should set you free, and I live in that.
Oh, my God.
So, speaking of cults, you know how when you're, especially in church, it's like, you do everything with a purpose, live your purpose. You're put on this earth for a purpose. And, this is your one thing that you was put on this earth to do. You've got to fulfill your purpose. And people's like, you got to pray to God and to find your purpose and this, that, and the other. So I was listening to a podcast and that question came up about purpose. And so it made me want to have the discussion with you about how do you define purpose? And I think purpose looks different or feels different for everybody. And I think life experiences have something to do with that. Upbringing has something to do with that. There's some people that just don't like, that's like, no, that's not the truth. I don't believe that or whatever. But that may be because of life experiences, and they're like, nothing is going right in my life. There's truly not a purpose, that kind of thing. So how do you define purpose? And I told her, like, I just think we're just gonna have an open discussion, because I really didn't deep dive into thinking about it, my thoughts in this. But I just thought it was be a good discussion. So how do you see it?
All right. So the first thing that came to mind when you told me to be thinking about this, I thought purpose, and I didn't Google it. Like, I just wanted it
right.
What came to my mind.
Right.
So I didn't look up like the definition or anything. Right. But my first thought was, what drives me and what am I here for? Like, those two things are the first thing that came to mind. Mm-hmm. I know that me personally, I don't necessarily know what I don't know what my purpose is. Like, I don't have a set, like, I know I was put on this earth to be a mother, to be a wife. Like, I've heard people say those things. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't know that those are my purposes. Those are choices here, well, I'm not a wife anymore, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. But I've always thought I want to make an impact. I want to make a difference in someone's life. I want to, that's what I want to do. But a struggle within myself, and this may be like you're talking about the way we grew up, like in church and that kind of thing, is my purpose supposed to be for me, or is it supposed to be for someone else?
Explain.
Like, was I put on this earth to fulfill my purpose for myself, like to do what I wanted to do and fulfill my own life? Like, make myself happy, I guess you would say.
Okay.
Or was I put on this earth to make a difference in other people's lives and self-sacrifice?
Right.
Does that make sense?
I think that it's both.
Yeah.
I think that whatever our purpose is and however we find it, that the ultimate thing for it to first fulfill us, because you're not going to believe or buy into something that you don't feel. That's just the truth. However, whatever it is, let's just say this thing is to this purpose I have, or this gift that I have, will ultimately be my way of living and generate money. I think also you're supposed to use that same purpose to go out beyond your walls, and reach somebody else or help somebody else, however that may be. And because I think we're also overall supposed to be helping one another, and I think that we're all put on this earth to serve each other.
Yeah.
And I think we're supposed to use our purpose in doing so. And so let's just say you're good with your gift is teaching. Your purpose is to teach. So you get a job as a school teacher. Yeah. But your other part of your purpose, so that's fulfilling to you. Yeah. But the other part of your purpose may be tutoring. Yeah. On the side. Yeah. Something you don't get paid for, but you do it because
you care, and you're pouring into someone else.
You're pouring into a child that needs it. Yeah. That's how I think purpose is supposed to work. I don't know that for certain. I don't know truly what my purpose is. I think that it's to be creative. Yeah. In some form. Same. Because it just keeps showing up in my life. And I think that's part of it too, is like things that just keep showing up in your life, I feel like
are pointing you in the right direction.
Are pointing you in that direction. I've told you, about like graphic design, and how like I went to the W in the first semester, I was undeclared. And then the second semester I had to pick something, and I just like drew a straw out of a hat. It's like, graphic design. Didn't really realize at that time that it would show up again in my life later. Yeah. In the way that it did. And it was like a full circle. I was like, okay. I had no idea. I thought
that was like me. It was accidental.
Yeah. I thought I was just saying something, but it wasn't accidental. I think it was purposeful. I just didn't know. you know, and I think I am living part of that. And then also, I think, you ever have something that just keeps reoccurring in your mind, like a dream or a thought about something, like that would be cool to do this, and it just keeps reoccurring and reoccurring and reoccurring. I think that's also part of purpose too. So I still have this idea business wise, and me and you have talked about it, and I won't put it all out in the world, but it's been in my mind since I can remember. I can vividly tell you what the structure would look like, how it would be laid out.
Yeah.
I've had it in my head, and you know, I'm forgetful of stuff, but I don't forget that.
Yeah.
It's like I can see it right now so vividly in my head.
Yeah.
And I think that is a part of it too. It's like, I think the Lord plants things in your mind at different times.
Yeah.
He gives you this part of the puzzle here.
Yeah.
Then later on, you learn that lesson. Great job. Here's a few more pieces of that puzzle.
Yeah. Until
you get to the point and you have all your pieces on the table and you start putting them and organizing them together. And then you like, this is it.
I have things like that. I have something I'll talk to you after the fact, kind of like you kind of want to, you know, some things you want to play close to the vest. It's like, until it's going to happen, you don't want to like,
you may not believe it, but there are dream killers in the world.
There are.
And so you can put something out there and think, well, I'm just telling my friend or whatever. But if you don't truly know the motives or the heart of that person that you're telling, that could be the end of that. That could be the end of your dream. Some things you supposed to hold.
Yeah.
He gave it to you. He didn't tell you to go out here and put it out here in the world, in the masses.
And there's something that I've when I was like really doing a deep dive into a relationship with God. And I actually have a book, maybe over there, like talking about a purpose-driven life. And
right. I think I have that book too. I think everybody had that book for a season.
and then there was one talking about, it was another like Christian self-help book, and it was talking about how to figure out what your purpose is, what your dream is, what your goals are, and all this stuff. And it kind of lined up with my life then, but recently it's been back on my mind a lot, kind of like you're talking about, like it just keeps popping up out of nowhere.
Right.
And then these things keep falling into place, and I'm like, but at that time, and I still feel this way now, I know that it's something that I'm not meant to do. Like if it ever happens, it's something I'm not meant to do until I'm older.
Okay.
In like my 50s. Like I just feel that, and I know that.
Do you ever feel like that thing is like literally within reach? Sometimes,
yeah.
I feel that way a lot. Yeah. Like I feel like it's just right there.
Everything's just gonna fall into place one time.
It's within. It's like I can just almost feel it. Like I can almost just extend my hand and touch it. Yeah. I feel like it's that close. Yep. But the thing is like I felt like that for years.
I know.
It's like,
and sometimes
in life things happen and you feel like, Lord, what am I doing? Like what? Yeah. Hello. See me down here. Yep. See me trying, right? Yep. Come on.
Like, what do I got to do to make this, and this? Like, come on, man. But the timing's not right.
But you know what will help? It'd be awesome. Life Uno.
Yes. Yes.
So I told
like
you
that crossover there.
See, I did that. Okay,
that's real nice.
I've been practicing. I have this podcast. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Hoot and Holla.
Wow,
this is where I do my practicing.
Oh, it's nice.
It's pretty cool. You should check it out. It's on YouTube.
You should subscribe.
Like and comment.
Yeah.
Follow. Hit that notification bell. So, I do some of my best thinking in oddest places sometimes, but when I was supposed to be working,
I'm glad you thought of this. This is cool.
I thought of Life Uno. I have no idea where it came from. You know, the Lord, I guess.
Jesus.
You know. So I was thinking about Life Uno. What if we were given certain cards in the game Uno? Y'all are familiar with that. We were each given 5 cards: the draw 2, the draw 4, the skip card, the wild card, and the reverse card.
Skirt.
And we were given this with a set of rules for each card, and we're able to play them however we see fit, whenever we see fit, as long as it sits within those rules and those guidelines.
And we're gonna post these rules because I'm a visual person. Like I had to see it spelled out to really comprehend it. So we'll post this. Can we do one at a time so we don't overwhelm everybody?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
So the first card is the Draw 2 card. The Draw 2 card, you can only use one per year. It does not roll over, so you can't just hold them and use them the next time and you got 2 of them. You can't do that. So if you don't use it within a year, you lose it. You have to wait 6 months before you can use another, meaning if you got one in November, you could not use another one until 6 months. Even though it's the next year, you gotta wait
until May of the next.
Right. Yeah. You gotta wait.
I did the math in my head.
Look at you. And also, I just added this rule earlier. You can only use the same one every 5 years, meaning if you use it for this thing this year, you got to wait another 5 years for it to use it like that again. So you want to go first and tell me tell us what your Draw 2 would be.
So I did this in mind.
Hold on, before that. So the Draw 2 will act like a multiplier. So 2 of something. So if you wanted this bottle of water, and it's like, you know what? I want 2 of them. Boop, boop. Draw 2. You get 2 bottles of water.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I did this all of my answers are assuming that my life is the same as it is now. Exact same circumstances.
Right.
In case of the reverse, like it's me, who I am, taking all of my current knowledge, going back, just like all of those things.
And I did too.
Okay.
I did too.
I didn't know if this was like in a dream world or whatever.
No, this is
so I use these things like how I would actually use them now. And like currently, I owe a lot on my car. I want to get rid of that debt. So like I was thinking for the Draw 2 right now, say I wanted to pay my car off. I owed $3,000. I would use it to multiply my money. I would make a $1,500 payment and I would multiply it and then have my car paid off.
Boom, boom,
and then
bam.
That would make my life better for the next 6 months until I could use another one. Like I would use it for things like that.
Right.
To make my life better.
And I just put a side note in. If this was real and we could use this,
man, it'd be fun.
Everybody's life would be so different.
Oh, it would be
so
much
different. I would assume for the better for everybody, or at least the majority of people. Of course, you got people out there that's going to use it for their own evilness, but we're not going to worry about that.
Dadgummit.
So my Draw 2 would be multiplied tax refund.
Yeah, that's
because that's the only time I get a lump sum of money.
Yes,
it's at a tax refund time because I can't generally save that much at a time.
Yep.
So if I get a tax refund check, this is a nice one. I'm double this one.
Double up.
You know what I'm saying? Every year.
But what sucks is you can't use it the same every time.
It doesn't matter.
I got
other choices.
Yeah, I'd multiply your truck payment. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you, the Draw 2 is gonna be for multiplying money. Period.
Yes, every
time.
Every time.
Whether it be the refund check or paycheck, I want to double it. I would if I could, if there was a stipulation that I could do this, it's like multiply all my checks for the year. Like at the end of the year, just multiply, just give me one more lump sum check.
What if at the end of the year you could just click, Draw 2, multiply my yearly income?
There. I would do that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Man,
yes,
my
I would
life.
do that.
Woo!
Man. Anyway.
I like this game.
Yes. It's awesome.
I'm happy and sad at the same time.
Draw 4. Draw 4, you can only get one per lifetime. So one for your life. That's it. Now, with that, you can transfer that to someone else. It could be anybody, family member,
like
friend,
you left it in your will to your somebody.
I'm going to give this to my child. And then also max 3 per person. So you may hand yours down. Next person might hand it down to that same person and they have their own. That's it. They don't get any more. They're going to have to either give way to somebody or that's it.
Yeah.
They can't receive any more. And that's just to level out the playing field.
Yes, I like that.
So mine would be buying a house. When I buy a house, I get 4. I'm trying to create some generational wealth here, guys.
I like that. Because then you can sell the other 3 and that gives you money.
I can sell the other 3 or I can rent them out or I can let other family members. I'm just saying.
I like that.
That's what mine would be. When I buy one house, I get 4.
I like that. So my thought was I would either save it I would either, save it to hand down to my kids.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like, I have two. Which kid am I going to give it to? To use in some kind of emergency.
Mm-hmm.
Like, God forbid, I'm not trying to put this out into the universe. You and I are in a wreck.
Mm-hmm.
You're dying. The ambulance is not going to make it on time. I'm going to quadruple how fast that ambulance gets there. Like that kind of thing. And I even thought about, for example, I get cancer. The treatment is barely working. I'm going to quadruple that treatment's effectiveness. So that maybe I can be good. Maybe I can live longer. Maybe I can pass it.
That's an interesting take on that.
Past it.
All right. That's all you have for draw 4?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So the next one is the skip card. So the skip card, and some of these rules are going to be the same for a couple of them. But the skip card, only one per year, just like the draw 2. Doesn't roll over. Have to wait 6 months before using another, and you can only use one. Use the same one every 5 years. So, what is your skip card?
I was thinking, because I'm single, I live alone, all that stuff. Anytime that I get sick, like really sick,
Mm-hmm.
it is the most miserable time ever. Because you're sick and you're thinking how nice it would be to have somebody there to like help you and take care of you. Like you get sad, you get depressed on top of being sick. It is just miserable.
Right.
So if I could skip that when I be like, okay, I've got the flu, and skip forward a week.
Especially if you had like something to do, like I'm going on vacation.
Yeah.
My period's on.
Yeah.
Skipping that.
Yep. Exactly. And then I was like, well, and if I didn't get sick that year, because I don't get sick very often,
Mm-hmm.
And I knew like the end of the year's coming up and I haven't used it, and I need to use it because I get one a year. I ain't wasting it.
No, I'm definitely using mine.
I'm gonna wait until like I know there's a really stressful week at work coming up and just boop.
Skip that.
Yep. Now I don't know how far forward you can skip because we don't have that in the rules. But in my mind, I'm thinking like a week, because realistically,
yeah,
I wouldn't want to miss 6 months of my kid's life or whatever's going on. I feel like anything more than a week would be like crazy.
Yeah. We'll have to get with the council members and find out the timeline on that.
Yeah, we'll have to.
But right now it's wide open.
Talk to the judges.
Yeah. My skip would be skipping anything that required some wait. Whether that be a Chick-fil-A line or
but you only get one a year. Would you waste it on that?
No, I'm not gonna waste it on Chick-fil-A. I love y'all, but I don't. No, not on that. Or maybe the wait time between me and a dream that I have, that would probably be more than likely the one I would use. Is like, I want to hurry up, get to the end. I know this is gonna happen on this period of time. Let's just fast forward that. Let's get that off the table. Let's just go and get there.
So what if you said, all right, I'm gonna skip forward to my dream, and you get there and you're old and gray, and it's been like 25 years, and you're like, what the hell just happened?
I got a reverse card.
Look at that.
Hey.
Look at that. Can you double up like that? Like skip and then be like,
you know what I didn't think about? Could I not do a draw 2 or draw 4 on one of these cards?
Oh, man, we're just making our own rules.
I'm just saying, this is wide open right here.
I need 4 wild cards.
We can play it how we want.
I'm going to quadruple my wild card, and then you can do whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
I like this. I like where you're going with that.
I'm just saying, it's a good idea.
I like it.
So wild card. The wild card, you can only use one per lifetime. It can be transferred to someone else, and it's a max of 3 per person. It's my turn to go first?
I guess. I was waiting on you.
Okay, I'll go. Mine would be one of two things.
Mm-hmm.
Either see the end before it happens. So it's like, I wonder what's going to happen in this situation, and I can fast forward and get to the end and see what was going to happen and go back. Or go back to a younger age with the wisdom
that you have now
and knowledge that I have now.
Man,
that would be my wild card. One of the two.
I didn't think about using my wild card for superpowers.
I mean, it's open.
Jeez, what am I doing with my life?
I don't know.
Okay.
You had options. It's wild card. You
And
can do what
see,
you want.
Man, God, just you blew my mind.
This is what makes it so fun in a collective.
So
here.
where I went was, I know that out of all of us, all of my closest friends, family, all that, somebody's going to have Alzheimer's, somebody's going to get dementia, somebody's going to have something happen, even if it was a car wreck and somebody's suddenly a paraplegic or whatever. And I'm like, I would use my wild card to, like, if I had some kind of accident or if I ended up with Alzheimer's, to cure that, or for someone else I know.
Right.
Anybody that I love, any kind of emergency, it's basically a make a wish. It's a grant a wish.
Right.
So I could do that. Or if going a different direction, I put maybe to wipe out all of my debt and have a perfect credit score. And that's basically starting over your life. You can go buy a house, you can go buy a car, you can do whatever. Or wild card continues.
She done turned the page.
I might. It would be hard to make this call because as soon as you use that wild card, you'll need it for something else. It's just like everything else in life.
But what if you're like your grandmother had passed you down one and you have two?
Yeah,
just saying.
If I have two, I would use one for the debt and all that situation, and then save the other for an emergency.
Right.
But I also thought about what if you could use it for the perfect job. Like that pays the most, where you can work your own schedule, like to set up your life perfectly.
Hey, it's your wild card. You can do what you want.
That would be, man.
I didn't think about that one. I would have done that one too. Mic drop.
That's the one.
You know what? If I was fortunate enough to have the 3 max, I would use 2 for however I choose to use them. But that one, I would definitely make sure that I transferred it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Just to give them a leg up, you know?
Like, yeah.
Because you're automatically going to get one the day that you're born.
Yeah.
But what if I could pass you another one? You have 2 now. So
we'd have to put an age limit on this, because otherwise it's going to be a 3-year-old. It's like, I want ice cream. And they use their wild card for ice cream.
Well, you're going to have to. I'm saying, we got to get with the council.
I'm just
get
thinking.
The age and all of that going, I didn't think that far ahead, okay? All right.
Didn't think we'd get this far.
Jesus. You're in a wet dream, why don't you? So the last one is the reverse card. This one you can only use 1 per lifetime, but you cannot transfer it. So it's yours.
You have to use
only
it.
You
or
can
it
use
goes
it.
To waste.
Use it whenever you want to. You hear that?
I did. It's thunder. Don't worry about it.
I hadn't eaten today, y'all. My stomach just did something there.
We're going to fix that as soon as this is over.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, you want to go first on this one?
Yeah.
What would your reverse be?
So as of I just thought of one, but that's probably hateful.
Okay.
All right. So this is one of those things. The things I've been through have made me who I am. So I don't necessarily, as painful as some of those things are, or traumatic or whatever, I wouldn't necessarily want to go back and erase my life.
Okay.
And with the reverse, I'm thinking I was trying to think of it like something I could go back and do and then come back to my life kind of thing.
Yeah. Kind of how like I use my wild card.
Yeah, how you're like skirt and like so I was thinking of my kids when they were little, because now the boys are 11 and about to be 13. Soon they'll be grown with their own kids. And there are times where I'm like, man, I miss them being little. And so my first thought was like, I want to go back to when they were little and spend some time with them when they were little, and then come back. So
I wonder, here's another thought on the reverse card before I get to mine. What if the reverse only was effective for a certain amount of time?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So it's like you can reverse it, but it's reverse only good for a week, only for X amount of hours, X amount of days.
Yeah.
I think that would work.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. But my other thought was, if it wasn't like that, man, I'm getting to be like 75 or 80 and then just kicking my age in reverse like Benjamin Button. Like, I'm just going to put the beep and I'm going to start aging backwards and we're going to have a good old time.
It's like our reverse, your reverse and my wild card are generally about the same.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing. Okay. So my reverse would be to bring back a loved one. And especially if it's thing like it's just a day or just whatever, because like, you know, I've had family members, especially here of late, that have passed. Yeah. And to, you know, just reverse and, you know, talk to them or whatever. Or like my granddad I never met. Like if I could reverse back and just experience that, because you hear all these stories that you weren't around, so you don't have any memories of it. So it's like if I could reverse back and just like kick it with my granddad one day. Yeah. You know, like stuff like that.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Especially since I can't transfer it and it's mine. Yeah. I can do what I want to do with it. That's more than likely what I can tell you. Two things for certain. That draw 2 gonna be used on money, and that reverse is gonna be to bring somebody back.
I like
for
it.
a little period of time. Them 2 for certain. The other ones, you know, who knows?
I like it. You know, I like this episode because I like the fact we're talking about life. Yeah. Now, this is fun. The purpose thing, maybe we made people think a little bit. Yeah. Because it made me think, and I always like a good, you know, a good think.
I was telling Whitney, is like, I didn't tell her this part, but I think for the first time in a long time, I'm like in a very like happy space. Yeah. But I was going to bring this up and I just thought about it because I said that, but I didn't think about it before then. You ever be in those type of moments where you're just like extremely happy in a good space and you're just like, okay, what's finna happen?
Yes. All the time, yes.
When the other shoe finna drop, because this don't feel right.
Because we know this ain't gonna last long.
this don't feel right.
Sadly,
this is too good to be true.
I am an optimist, and I am very. I feel like sometimes almost toxically optimistic. Like I'm always trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. Always trying to give them another chance. Always patient and trying to wait. But it's weird because in my mind, I'm like you. I'm like, okay, this is going too well. Right. Something bad always happens. This is going too well. And so I get that. I do. So
it's like I'm in a very happy space. Still trying to do the dating thing. It ain't working well, but I ain't been out of shape about it. I've just been on this
kind of like come what may.
Yeah, I'm just on this high, this cloud or whatever, and it's like this is kind of scary, and I don't want to get too comfortable here. Because I don't know when it's going to be, like, the rug is going to be pulled from under me. Which is, I don't know if that's, like, PTSD.
I don't know.
It's like, this is a trauma response. Like,
I don't know if
but I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying it. But it's like, I'm a little uneasy.
I don't know if it's a... Sweating, I don't know if it's a trauma response. Oh, my God. Oh, your white is showing. Are you proud of yourself? You are. You're like, I don't know any of his other songs. I know that line though.
Only because of the movie.
But yeah, I don't know if it's a trauma response. I think it is because your brain kind of tries to protect you sometimes, and that's like I'm ADHD. I'm learning more and more about it, and part of it is the freeze response. Where you're just sitting there and like I'll have a water next to me and I'm like, I need to be drinking water. I'm dehydrated. I need to be drinking water. But I just cannot make myself.
Water into body.
Yeah. I just cannot make myself physically. I will sit there for an hour and a half and think about how I need to be drinking that water. And I can't. I cannot physically make myself reach over and get it. And it's because your brain is in like a fight or flight mode. Right. Because you're and with ADHD it don't make any sense because there's nothing going on. I'm just here by myself watching TV. Why can't I drink the freaking water? But, you know, I feel like your brain, it tends to try to protect itself. And that's like a protection. And I guess it probably is from your life, things that you've been through. Like, well, every time it's been going great, something bad always comes along. Right. So I don't feel like it's like us being negative. I feel like it's our brain and it's something that we can't unprogram.
Okay. I just wanted to know. I'm just like, This is scary.
Well,
yeah.
we're gonna go and take care of this whole like stomach rumbly thingy.
Yeah.
And then we will be back for a Father's Day
Yeah.
special.
So you're gonna see these outfits again.
Because she forgot to bring one to change it to.
It is what it is, guys.
And out of solidarity,
apologize that we didn't, post
I'm gonna
last
do
week.
the same.
We're here this week, and we're gonna be here on Father's Day for Father's Day bonus, like we did for Mother's Day. So you're gonna see these outfits again.
Woo-hoo.
And then just to kind of give you a heads up, after Father's Day, our next episode will be that following Friday, and it's gonna be just like a best
probably
of
a recap.
Yes,
of everything.
We're gonna take our best moments or favorite moments from the season so far and put them together and post them. If you see this before we do that, drop in the comments if there's a particular episode and that you loved, and I like this part of it. We want to know that because we want to include it if it wasn't already on the list. So hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Hope we gave you something like to think about, laugh about. We enjoy y'all listening in and tuning in and giving us feedback about the things we're talking about.
I love it.
Our organized chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all have a great week, and we'll see y'all in the next episode. Holla, y'all.